Hey guys, Jimmy Vegas here, and today we are taking a look at an asset in the Unity asset store called Horror School Props. Now, I kind of like this asset simply because it is exactly what you get. I mean, you wouldn't expect something like this to be free a lot of the time because you come across a lot of assets in the Unity asset store, which, although they are of similar quality to this, are paid. And obviously this one is free. It's just under 53 megabytes, which is not huge. It's not massively small, but just keep that in mind for project size. But free, you can never really argue with it. So it's got a demo scene with it, which isn't massively complicated or anything like that. It's just got the props in it that we can see here. I always like those demo scenes because they give you a chance to see what the actual items are within the package rather than root through the folders. So the quality of this is actually very nice indeed. I think it's detailed enough to actually represent something quite neat and tidy in a horror game. And each of the assets are uniquely made, which obviously is a plus as well. But a big plus for me is movable drawers. I always like to see these because it makes it easy for example, you need to hide something in the drawers. You've got the option of actually making a movable drawer to open. Obviously, you could just pull them out and bring them on the floor, so then you got no drawer. So I like that kind of object. It's interchangeable, you could say. So yes, overall the quality is rather nice, and I do like it. So in the game view, we can see with a little bit of post-processing that things can look a little bit neater, as it were. But don't forget, the customizability of these assets is always something fantastic. Take this large shelf, for example. If we were to mess around with the material, let's change it to an albedo alpha, and already we can see its glossiness. Now let's take away the glossiness, but let's increase the normal map just a little bit and change the normal map to grayscale. And we can see just how grim and gruesome this could actually become, depending on your style of game, because there's no set way of really having any of these assets. It's something for you to kind of work out yourself. And already you can see it's got more of an old textury feel now when we look in the game view. So obviously all these assets can be changed, they can be manipulated one way or another. Folder layout, nice and neat and tidy, as I always like to see, because there's nothing worse than getting a new asset from the asset store and it's just a mess in the folders. I always like neat and tidy. We've got the materials and the models and the prefabs. So in the way of extras, there's not really any extras to speak of. In all fairness, I think you get enough within the package because you could build quite a nice area with just these assets, even prototype a nice simple game. Usefulness, even if you're not making a horror style game, you could still use these assets quite well. They would fit into a lot of different types of games. Perhaps you're making an old school kind of feel to a game, these would still fit in. Even if you're not making any type of game, you might find an asset such as the desk useful one way or another, because you could associate this with almost anything. You could just be making a first-person shooter. That desk would fit in quite well. You could be making an RPG. That desk would fit in quite well with some kind of office environment. So I think its usefulness is not just restricted or limited to horror games or survival horror games or anything like that. So as you guys know, I don't rate assets. I recommend them or I don't recommend them. And I would recommend this one. I think this would be a nice addition to any game if you see fit. If you think anything here would fit nicely into what you are developing, then I would absolutely recommend at least checking the package out and just taking a look, maybe customizing it just a little bit more to see what kind of look and feel you can come up with. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this asset package. So guys, have you used anything within this asset package? You let me what you think of it in the comments below. If you had a positive impact, a negative impact, you tell me. And if you've got an asset on the asset store, please let me know in the comments. I would love to check it out. And don't forget guys, click subscribe, click the bell icon as well to stay up to date with everything about video game development on my channel. And guys, thank you very much for watching.